All right, shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started, I want to give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. All right, double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone and rule well. And shalom, Wakasa, Laha Bakyar, which means peace and grace to the elect out the four corners wherever it may be. I'm the brother Amar from the branch GMS Cleveland. Come back at you with another video. Lord willing to be edifying to whomever may be watching. And as you see on the screen, I have like a little illustration of the lesson I'm going to get into. Don't know the title I'm gonna come up with yet, but this picture, like on the right, I'll say on the left, right? It says show her it's a man's world, right? And then I'm using this illustration to like show you like this is essentially how the Lord created things to be. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord created what for women. I don't give a damn if it's Israelite women or heathen women. Women in general, all women are created to be what? A helpmate to their man, to their husband. All right, that's their role. All right, and it's not supposed to, go beyond that. All right, and not only it doesn't just stop with serving. It doesn't stop with helping. You know what I mean, as a helpmate, but you serve. You know what I'm saying? You help aid. Your husband. You know what I mean? And that's how kingdoms, prosper. When it's the other way around, all right. And I'm gonna get back to that. That's the picture on the left. When it's the other way around, when it says show him it's a woman's world, and then you have what this man being in a submissive role to this creature, which is this woman, and the woman was and is meant to be a helpmate, the way Yahweh Shemel Shai created it to be. And when you have that role reversal, all right, it goes beyond just dating, or not. I don't even want to say dating. You know what I mean? Because that's like a newer term. It goes beyond a relationship. This picture really illustrates what's really wrong with the world in its entirety. Basically, things are ass backwards. All right, that's what this picture illustrates in a nutshell. And on a higher level, on a macro level and on a micro level, this picture illustrates backward assness, and we're living in a world that is backwards. You know what I mean? Let me get this real quick, man. Hold on. Just 1 second, man. I had other precepts lined up, but Spirit just hit, so I gotta get it. One second. Let's go to it real quick. Damn. Like this is, as I'm trying to look for it. Give me 1 second, man. If I can't find it, I'll just quote it, because brothers know what I'm talking about when it says all the foundations of the earth are out of course. It's in Psalms though. It says all the foundations of the earth are out of course. I might be overlooking it, but give me matter of fact, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do it this way. Foundations out of course. I know it's in Psalms 82, man. Look, I was right there too, man. This is the Salakia, man. Yeah, and I took away the picture. Yeah. This is Psalms chapter 82, verse 1. It says, Yahweh standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. It says, let me jump down. Let me jump down. It says, verse 5, it says, they know not, neither will they understand. It says, they walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth out of course. You see, and going back to this right here, where's that picture at, man? Where the hell is that picture I just had, man? Here we go. Going back to this, man. All right. Going back to this right here, man. All right. This illustration. All it says what? Psalms 82, verse 5. It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, all the foundations of the earth out of course, man. This world is covered in darkness, man, which is really wickedness. Because when you go to Psalms, the 60th chapter, verse 1 and 2, it's going to say the earth is covered in wickedness, man. It says darkness, gross darkness to people. All right, and it's darkness is in there twice, but when you look up one of the words, it's going to say wickedness. Then this right here, this is wicked, man. Anything that is outside, Yahweh Shem Shah's will and his writings and his teachings, you know what I'm saying? His way of living, his commandments, I should say, that's considered wicked, man. All right? Like I said, it goes beyond just a relationship, man. It's the natural course of how things should be. And people are just, it seems like they have no idea of how the Lord wants them to operate because these people don't read. They got the Bible in their hands or in their house, and they're just sitting there collecting dust, man. Meanwhile, there's hella scriptures on showing you how to live your life and how you conduct yourself, but these people just they just overlook it, or they just pay no attention to it, or they just refuse to hearken. You see what I'm saying? This is the order right here. 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, verse 1. It says, be ye followers of me, even as I am also of Mashiach. It says, now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances. It says, as I delivered them to you. What are the ordinances? The orders. The order of the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah. So Paul was telling these believers, all right, to keep the ordinances, man. Is Paul talking about the way he wants things to be done, or is he talking about the way Yahweh Shema Shah wants things to be done? He's talking about the way Yahweh Shema Shah wants things to be done. It says, here go the order right here. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach. It says, and the head of the woman is the man. It says, and the head of Mashiach is Yahweh. That's the order right there, man. All right, and like I said, it goes beyond relationship. It goes. The Lord has an order with every single thing that goes on in this universe, man. Even the stars and the solar system has ordinances, man. You know what I mean? The sun and the moon have ordinances, man. The water itself, the animals, all of them have ordinances that they're obeying. They're obeying orders given to them by Yahweh Shema Shah, the great creator, the programmer. They're following their program. Only creatures are not following the program. Is talking about what? The humans. All right, and I would really want to more so say Jake, because the heathens, the Lord's not dealing with them on that level. They need guidance. All right, and the heathens are being guided by who? Esau Edom. Esau Edom is currently in rulership, so they're going to follow the ones that are in rulership. So it's like they don't really know better. But in the kingdom, we're going to get them in order. We're going to tell them, like, look, this is how you do things. You see what I'm saying? So really, you Israelites are out of order. And the reason why I didn't incorporate Esau, because Esau is being the devil. He's being a liar, a thief. You know what I mean? The wicked, vile individual that he's programmed to be. He's supposed to be like that. He's supposed to be doing these crazy ass things on earth that we read about and do videos on. That's how he is. But you Israelites, you got no excuse because when you breaking the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah, that's what now you're out of order. So really, there's only you Israelites out of order. So this is Genesis 1. I'll just get to the point. Just going into the creation when Elohim, when Yahweh Shah and Elohim, which is the powers, the angels, that was creating everything. I'll just get to the point. This is man, this is Actually, I'll start from verse 26. Genesis 1:26. And Yahweh said, let us make man in our favor. Let's make man in our image. It says, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So yeah, so Elohim, if I say Yahweh, I meant to say Elohim. So Elohim created man in his own image. It says in the image of power created he him, male and female created he them. So you have the polar opposites. All right, you have a male, then you have a female, man. All right, the counterparts of each other. All right, and that's what order. That's how things are supposed to be. But because the system that we live in is being dictated and ran by the devil, he puts out the confusion and disorder. And what does the scriptures also say? The Lord is not the author of confusion. So we just living in a society that is out of order and needs to be put back in order. And the Lord will place the proper people, which is the sons of God, back in order. Back in a position of authority and rulership, and we'll gain that. We'll put the people back in order. All right, and not just the people, everything else, man. All right, the time, you know what I mean? Because this nigga messed up time. We don't even know, the time that we're in, man. Daylight saving time, the whole 9 yards, man. Anyway, jumping over to Genesis 1:31. It says, and Elohim saw everything that he had, or should be that they had made, and behold, it says, and behold, it says it was very good. And that word good right there is tawab, which is going to say agreeable. So when they made everything, Yahweh Shah and Elohim, they seen that everything was agreeable. They worked in tandem with each other. It was cohesive. Everything was working together. Now that we live in a time where things work against you. The food that you consume works against you. The water that you drink works against you. The relationships that you're in, it's pretty much counterproductive, because people is not in order. It says, and it was very good in the evening, in the morning. This was the 6th day, man. So here it is, when Yahweh Shah and Elohim created everything, they saw everything was good. Now all of a sudden, man, when shit, is the way it is now, man, who can you blame, man? The devil, man. But this is let me get this real quick, man. Book of Jeremiah 6 and let me see, Salakia. Let me see. Oh no, I meant this should be 6 and 16. It's Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. And you see, this is the problem. It go beyond relationships. It's the way people are behaving. It's the way people are living their life, man. Which that's why you're not finding no rest for your souls. You think you got sugar, you think you got things figured out, and you don't. You think you got your diet figured out, you don't. Even these so-called vegan people, man. All right, which that's if you go vegan, that's cool. If you what's it called, vegetarian, okay, cool. But the Lord already gave a dietary system on what men and women should consume. You know what I'm saying? And people, they pretty much they do their own thing. They don't want nothing to do with the way the Lord told them how to move. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they're not finding rest for their souls. But it says once again, Jeremiah 6 and 16, thus said the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths. That's what our people are not doing. You know what I mean? They're going further and further into the future, which is leading them further away from the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. It says, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. You see what I'm saying? They don't want nothing to do with the scriptures, man. They don't want nothing to do with the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. So, really, who can you blame, man? When your life is shit and things are not going your way, man. The scriptures also say that in Isaiah says, woe to him that striveth against his maker. You know what I mean? And that, in every way, our people are striving against the Lord, man. So, you know what I mean? It's not going to work in your favor. Last scripture, man. Joel 8 and 8. It says, for I inquire It says, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers, man. Yep, and that's what you got to do. If you believe on the Lord, you got to do that, man. You got to just, you got to tap in, read the scriptures, you know what I mean? Pray and ask the Lord to, to give you more understanding on how you should live your life, man. The Bible is how we should live, man. All right, point blank, period. Ain't no other way gonna work outside of what the will of the Lord, outside of the will of the Lord, man. I already read the scripture in Genesis, where it talks about when Yahushua and Allah made everything. They said everything was good. You know what I mean? And this nigga Esau think he can do better. No. You know what I'm saying? Shalom.